Hi, it's Monday night again, and here we are. Um, we so enjoy this, and I just want to welcome all of you. Without you fans out there that stay with us and follow the tilt, well, we'd just be sitting here talking to ourselves, and it makes it so much better if we can just every week bring you the value that we want to bring you. And I think we're the top motivational hangout on the net at this moment. And we couldn't be happier to have you join us. So you what? Excuse me. What's it? Just okay. Just hang on. Sam says we're not coming through. Okay. I guess we're okay. I'm so sorry about that. Just one. Hang on. I want to check. Okay, you know what? I hope we don't run into any problems with it lagging tonight, but I'm going to carry on where I was. I'm pretty sure that we're the top motivational hangout, and I think that's where I was at. So, anyways, we love doing this hangout for you guys. The dreamer, the doer, the entrepreneur, and that would be you, the person longing to make every day Freedom Day. So, it's great to have you with us. And today's hangout is about gratitude. What a powerful, powerful topic to talk about. Um, Before we start tonight, because I don't know where everybody's going with it, like I've told you time and time again, we don't rehearse this. We never know what each other is going to say. It just, what comes out of us comes out of us. But I will tell you this, every single week we are very raw, we're very real with what we talk about, and tonight isn't going to be any different. So, my gratitude, my thankfulness. Last Saturday morning, November the 22nd, I woke up even more thankful than I had been the day before, the week before, the month before, and yes, even the year before, years before. Now let's go back 24 hours and what changed. Friday morning, got up typical. Both Sam and I started out as any other day started out, but there was a difference about this day. It was Sam's son's birthday, Johnny. And to explain this, why this was so important was we're a blended family. Sam and I are a blended family. We're not the Brady Bunch, but we like to call ourselves the JD Bunch because we all start with J's, which would be Jason, Jody, Jackie, James, Jessica, and Johnny. How ironic is that? We've got 3 boys, 3 girls. And anyways, I didn't know him when he was in his first marriage, but when he separated from his first marriage, it wasn't the nicest. And to take it a step farther, it was probably very horrific. And the 3 kids that he had, 2 boys and a girl, let me see, how could I explain this? The word rhymes with, well, let's just say if they had had the Amber Alert back then, the police would have been looking for her. And so consequently, and very sadly, for 18 years, Sam had never spoken to his boys. Now, as his wife, all I could do was be supportive because I have to be very truthful with you. I can't even imagine what would go through his head at the quiet times. I couldn't even imagine what he was feeling. But we never quit trying to get back into the children's lives. We never quit praying for the day that Sam would hear from them again. And we all were always thankful that the Lord kept them safe for one more day until we did meet again. So as I say, we never stop looking. Well, about a year ago, there's a program on the net that you can subscribe to, and we subscribe to it, and it lets you trace a lot of things that you don't normally see. And one of the things it does is cell phones. So we put Johnny's name in, and we came up with his cell phone. So last year on his birthday, Sam texted him, and all he said was, "Happy birthday, Johnny. Hope you have a good day." And Johnny came back and he said, "Well, thanks very much. Who is this again? I seem to have lost your number or something." And Sam just sent back a smiley face. He just had that little bit of touch with his son, and he didn't want to lose it. Well, this year, same thing. You know, it was Johnny's birthday. We both knew it. And about mid-afternoon, he sent out a text to Johnny saying, "Hey, happy birthday, Johnny. It's 25 years today, and I hope you have a great day." And pretty soon a message came back saying, "Thanks. Who is this? You know, I don't seem to have your number." And Sam looked at me, and I looked at him, and I think he just decided, now is the day. It's either going to go one way or another. And he wrote back, "It's your dad. It's been 25 years today, and it's a special birthday, and I hope you have a good day." Bang, hit send. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and nothing came back. And we went out for dinner, and we came back home, and we ended up going to bed. And we thought, well, we tried. So we got up Saturday morning, and there it was. There was the message from him. While we were sleeping, he had sent a message, and you could tell he had put a lot of thought into it. And he had also sent a picture. Oh, damn, he's so handsome. But we just looked at each other, and it was like, thank you. Now, you can't even imagine the goosebumps that we got. But it was just, we were lost for words, and the only thing we could say is thank you. And the whole reason I'm telling you this is to help you come to everything in your life with a sense of gratitude. We get so caught up with money. We get so caught up with material things. We get so caught up with what people will think about us. Get so caught up how far we are all progressing in our business compared to what we think we should be, where we should be with our business. And yet, what we rarely ever do, and I have both hands in the air, guilty as charged, is stop, take a breath, and say, thank you. Now, I say thank you, God. And even if you don't believe in God, just say thank you. Just stop whatever you're doing right now and say thank you. Thank you. I mean, if you've had a friend that's called you and just said, "Hey, just thought I'd say hi." Simple stuff. Say thank you. If you're going through a checkout at the grocery store and you just know the girl's been having a rough day, but she looks up and says, "I hope you're having a good day." Say thank you. Life's tough. And the thing that really gets me is when some of these motivational gurus, the people that are trying to sell you stuff, and hey, I make a living selling stuff, so there's nothing wrong with selling stuff. But when they position their life that they have it all, you know who I'm talking about. You watch Facebook. You're subscribed to the same email list as I do. And when they put it out there that they've got it all together, that they've never had a bad day, they have it all figured out, well, to me, I think that's BS. Because life is tough. And nobody makes it out alive. And it's days like last Saturday that I wake up and I say, thank you. Take all my money, take my cars, take my house. Take anything you want, just give me the people and my dogs that I love. Now, at some point, we just have to say enough is enough. Enough with the material crapola, And the gurus out there that are pimping this stuff, saying that you can attract anything you want, which I do believe in. I really honestly do believe in that. But you know what else? It's not impossible to attract bad things into your life as well. It's out of your control. It's out of my control. Life can be controlled a little bit. But if you think you're going to specialize in controlling every facet of your life, I'm telling you, you absolutely cannot do it. And I'm not any motivational guru, that's for sure. I am 180 degrees the other way. I am just a gal that struggles every day like you, but I don't make major out of minor things. And I think that's the biggest difference. You know, we're all going to struggle. We're all going to have days that we don't want to get out of bed in the morning, but we get out of bed in the morning. We've all had things said to us that we wished hadn't been said, but they were. And instead of reacting, we move on. And we've all had things done to us. We all know that bad things happen to good people. But we need to forge ahead, because we're not going to major in minor things. We're not going to let those things define who we are, and we are going to continue to move ahead. And what is brought to us, we do the best we can with what we have to work with. Just because you don't have $1 million in the bank, or you don't have that Mercedes in your driveway, I will really want you to encourage you that nobody keeps score based on material things. Legacy. Gary V, and I'd say his last name except I can't seem to pronounce it correctly, talks about legacy is greater than currency. And that, my friend, attitude. When we got up last Friday morning, we had no idea that our lives would be different than years. No idea. And it just doesn't seem enough to say thank you. But it is. It truly is. Life will bring you sweetness, and it'll bring you sorrow. Just be thankful for all of it, because all of it gives you a chance to love. And I just want to say thank you for listening to me. And I'm going to trade it off to somebody else right now so I can get myself together. But hey, Shirley, what about you? We haven't heard from you. We weren't able to hear from you last week. So do you want to step up and take over?
Hey, Nettie, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. My computer is whistling, so if any time I fade out, just step back in and let me know. But you know, your story gave me goosebumps, and I've had a lot of conversations with you about your family and, you know, some other situations, and I'm just so happy for you that you guys got this. You deserve it, and it's awesome to be here tonight and just celebrate with you, and just celebrate you know, some of the biggest points of our lives that we can be thankful for. A few weeks ago, we were talking about gratefulness. I forget the title of it, but it was over the Canadian Thanksgiving. And I talked about a story about how gratefulness first changed my life, when it first had the biggest impact. And on that hangout, I talked about there was a point in my life that I was really low. I had hit rock bottom. I had just left the Amish. I was just first starting my first business. We were living with my boyfriend's brother. I was not getting along with him. I was stuck. My business wasn't working. I was so frustrated. And I found so many reasons that I was failing. And I reached out to this woman and said, you know, I'm hitting rock bottom. What can I do? I need something to change. I'm sick of feeling. I'm just done. And she shared an exercise with me about gratefulness. And on that hangout, I talked about how in the beginning, it was very hard to be grateful. And all I could think about was, oh, I'm grateful that I have a house. I'm grateful that I have running water, I guess. I'm grateful that I have clothes. It was a small list. It was a generic list, and I didn't have any feeling with it. And the month went on, something magical happened. What happened was I started getting up in the morning and looking for ways to be grateful. I started looking for something. And when you look for something, you'll find it. If you look for proof that your life is going badly, you'll find that proof. And if you're looking for proof that your life is going great, you'll also find that proof. And that's what happened to me. And I guess what the biggest difference is that I realized this last week when I was listening to an Inner Circle by David Sharp. It was called How to Get Out of the Newbie Zone. And I found that it directly related to what happened to me back then. And basically the message of this Inner Circle call that he provided for us, for the affiliates of this company, was often when newbies get started in business, and you may be on this hangout right now and you're wondering, well, what the heck does thankfulness and gratitude have anything to do with business? Seriously, I just want to make some money, right? But I'll get to the point. But the message of this audio was, if you're a newbie, often you get started out in business and you're overwhelmed. There's so much training out there, and you just want mentoring. You get overwhelmed by the training, and you feel that you have nothing to give your prospects. And you hear over and over that to be successful in this business, you need to give value, and you need to give of yourself. And he talked about how, as a marketer, when you wake up in the morning, and I think Dave Wood said this too, is your job is to find meaning. You are to look around your life and see everything as a meaning, as a metaphor. See the dandelions growing beside the road, and talk to your list about how, there may be pretty weeds in your life, but you need to weed out those weeds or they're going to take over. Or maybe it's raining outside and you decide to write this email to your list and say, there's dark days, but they're going to be past. Every tiny little thing means something. And when you approach it with the attitude of gratitude and you start forming this abundant mindset, what starts happening? What's happening is you suddenly have all the answers you need. You have everything, all the content you need to your prospects in your list. You have all the value that you need, that you've been told that you need to give. And you know exactly what you can give to those who may someday be your business partners. And this all starts with an attitude of thankfulness and of gratitude. You can't give something away if you're negative, right? You first need to be thankful and for your mind to be open to see what you can give, what value you can give. So that's kind of all I have for tonight. There's a couple of things that you need to do when you are starting your gratitude journey, and that is watching the kind of language that you're using, the kind of thoughts that you're thinking. And I would highly recommend starting a journal. Start to write down what kind of words you're saying. Are you speaking life or are you speaking death over your life? Are you looking for proof that things are going okay for you? Are you looking for proof that things are going awesome? And when you look for that proof and it appears and you share it with the world and you share it with the masses, I promise you, that's when your business explodes. That's when your life explodes. And that's how you become a leader. And that's how that's how you get out of the newbie zone. So I know the message tonight was being thankful. You know, it really gets you out of that materialistic ego wanting more. But I also want you to know that being thankful attracts the good things in your life that you want. So I'm going to hand it back over to you, Nettie. You can pass it on to whoever else is next.
Thanks so much, Sherry. Shirley, I do that all the time. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm still on a high, I think, yeah, for everything that's been going on in our life. And thank you so much for saying how happy you are for us. Means the world. Yeah, we've been kind of smiling goofballs for a few days now and more to come. But enough about me. Sherry, how would you like to take over and tell us all how you feel about thankfulness and gratitude and what it's brought to you in your world?
Thank you, Nettie. First, I want to say yay for you and Sam.
Thank you.
Happy.
Thank
you.
So
happy for you. Gratitude for me is everything. And gratitude is a choice. You know, we only have control over very few things in our life. And one of them is how we frame things in our mind. And when you approach your life from this place of looking for things to be grateful for, more of that shows up. And I always say that it's really easy to be grateful when things are going well. It is the master who can be grateful when things are falling apart. And one of the things that I'm really grateful for is my own awareness around when life feels like it's falling apart. It's because the universe loves me so much that I need to step up into the bigger me that I've already vibrationally become. I need to let some stuff go, and I need to step into more. And I can be grateful for that. And when I think of gratitude, one of the things that kind of triggered for me when Shirley was talking, I remember years ago when I was thinking about, when Shirley was talking, she was talking about the beginning of her gratitude journey, and I was thinking of my own journey as she was talking. And one of the things that I remember years and years and years ago, Oprah Winfrey had started some gratitude journaling on her show way back when, before it was popular. And there were people on her show that couldn't even wrap their head around what to be grateful for. And something she said absolutely changed everything for me, and that was, start with your breath. You can be grateful for your breath. And then what else is there to be grateful for? You know, you can be grateful because you've got a meal today. You can be grateful because you've got a bed to sleep in. You can be grateful because, you know, you've got friends that love you. You can be grateful about so many things, big and small. And gratitude, we often think of gratitude almost from a place of cause, in that for those of us that follow the law of attraction, part of the idea is that what you focus upon and what you put your attention on is what grows and is what you attract. So if you put your focus on gratitude, that's what you attract. That's what you vibrate out into the world. That's what you resonate with. That's what you're looking for. And just a really simplistic example, years ago when Nissan first started creating the Murano, I'm an artist. I fell in love with that vehicle. There weren't any on the road where I lived. There certainly weren't any vehicles on the road that were in a copper color. As soon as I bought a copper color Murano, they were everywhere. It's like my awareness had shifted and I started to see them everywhere. It's the same thing with gratitude. It's the same thing with anything in our life. If you look for success, you will find more things that prove your success. If you look for things to be grateful for, the universe just starts bringing you more things to be grateful for. So it is a cause, but I also want to invite you to look at gratitude also as an effect, as an outpouring. And what do I mean by that? I mean, Wayne Dyer had this quote, and it sums it up, better than anything I could say. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So what if it's actually your ability to see from a bigger perspective, to see from another point of view, and in increasing your ability to see something different, the natural outpouring of that is gratitude. I view gratitude as the mechanism by which our ceilings of today become our floors of tomorrow. They're the platform on which we can build what comes next. And it can be bigger, and it can be bigger, and it can be bigger. And it doesn't have to be materialistic, although that's part of our experience of embodiment. It's really just about embracing more of you, letting go of more of your fear, embracing more of your talents and abilities, being willing to be seen in the world, being willing to share your message in the world, and be willing to really connect with people from a place of receiving them where they are, being grateful for them for however they show up. And sometimes they show up as a pain in the butt. And sometimes they show up as not very kind. And sometimes they show up as incredibly supportive and loving. And as I said in the beginning, the Master is grateful for all of it. So I encourage you to look at everything in your life as something to be grateful for. And when you can be in gratitude for it, it doesn't mean you have to keep repeating that same experience, because we all have experiences that we love, and we all have experiences that once enough, thank you very much, don't want to do that again. That's okay. Just be grateful for all of it. Evolve through all of it. It's complete grace. Just live in surrender and grace. And surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means just being an allowance for everything that is. So that is my point of view on gratitude, my dear. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry. Always like hearing, yours and Zen's, in particular, your versions of things, because of the education that you guys have had, and you can contribute to our hangout with it. We have life experiences, Erica and Shirley and I, and we tap on our gratitude from the real life. But it's so nice to get into how the energy and everything does affect our gratitude. And thank you very much for that. And I love that the ceilings of today become our floors for tomorrow. That was the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Love that. So and our other lady here, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Zen. What can you bring us tonight, my dear?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I loved your story, Nettie. You know what? You amaze me, and I think you're such a badass that I hear stories like that, and I think, oh man, now my story of gratitude isn't going to be anywhere near as good, but it's not a one-upsmanship. So I'll just tell you that number one, I wake up, and I learned this years ago. I read a book by Shakti Gawain 25 years ago called Living in the Light, and she talked about being present in the moment, each moment. Now. And I was so impressed with this book that I told all my friends about it. So they'd say to me every time they saw me, how are you feeling now? And how about now? And how about now? Because I made a point of staying present and talking about staying present. And so one of the things that you talked about in that book, too, was giving thanks every day. And so one of the first things I do when I wake up every morning is I just say, open my eyes and I go, oh, wow, I get to be here one more day. This is awesome. This is great. So I'm psyched every morning just to wake up and, you know, I feel the limbs and, you know, everything's working and I go, perfect. I'm here and I'm working and it's awesome. When my feet hit the ground, I can do much more than I did yesterday because I only compare myself with myself and who I was yesterday and who I am today. So that's giving thanks every day. But I wanted to tell you my story of gratitude because, you know, I like to say, as Nettie said, just a heartfelt thank you to people when they do something that seriously helps me. And that can be something so small. And I'll just give you my example because last night my daughter woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, not feeling well. And unfortunately, what she needed, I didn't have here. So I said, Google a 24-hour pharmacy for me. And she did. And she goes, I don't want you to go out. It's 3 in the morning. Don't do that. I can wait until the morning. I went, just Google the pharmacy and call them. And I started to get dressed. So she found out that they were open. And I drove down to this pharmacy, and I was so grateful because it was actually in this community where I live. I thought I would have to go out because we're kind of in suburbia of LA. And so when I got to this store, I was smiling. It was 3:30 in the morning. I was smiling. I walk in, the manager looks at me, and he's sort of feeling grumpy. He goes, hi, how are you? And I went, I'm great. How are you? I'm so just glad that you're here and open 24 hours now. I had no idea you were open 24 hours now. And he goes, you are so perky for 4 in the morning. How is that? Or 3:30 in the morning. And I said, because I'm so thankful because I need meds for my daughter. I need them now. And you're here for me. And I am excited about that. And this manager came walking up at that moment. Another manager, I guess they have 2 on duty. One's doing inventory. The other one is just there. I don't know. And he said, you know, I just got transferred to this store. And this hill is so sleepy at night. After 10 p.m., everything kind of closes down. I was wondering why we're open. And I just got transferred here. And you just answered my question. I said, well, thank you for being here. And we had this, you know, it was almost like ready for a group hug. But it made me so happy because I felt very grateful that somebody stepped up in my hour of need, you know, and it wasn't a medical emergency, but the fact that I didn't have to make her wait until morning just made me so happy and so grateful. So that's part of that was my story of attitude of gratitude. But I wanted to tell you this because I thought, well, the attitude of gratitude is so important. And I get a little bit of that from Abraham Hicks, a little bit of law of attraction, but it's so important to have that. I Googled one of my favorite motivational speakers, Zig Ziglar. And I love Zig Ziglar because he is like the epitome of gratitude. That's where he comes from all the time, gratitude. And if you ever listen to, just for a moment, I'm going to digress. If you ever listen to Dave Woods, Dave Sharp, any of the leaders within the industry, they always say thank you. They always say, I appreciate you. You know why? Because it makes people feel your gratitude for just them being there. And that's so important for people to feel that. I'm grateful for all these women on Tilt. I'm grateful for our entire team. I'm grateful for people who are around for me 24/7 to answer my questions on our Facebook team. I could keep a list a mile long, but I don't want to stay talking about that too long. I want to tell you the 4 things about the attitude of gratitude. And then I'm going to wrap it up with my favorite thing. Zig Ziglar said that it's the greatest driver of your success. Because when you are grateful, you are also content with what you have, and that is about relationships like Nettie's contact, Nettie and Sam's contact suddenly with his son. That's awesome. It's not only about material goods, it's about everything. And so when you look around you and you're grateful for what you currently have, it makes the space to create whatever it is that you desire out there. And you can just hang it out there in the atmosphere, and your mind, the mechanisms of the universe will help you baby step backwards to get you there. If it's congruent with your vibrational energy to have it. Because it's already done if you're vibing with it. And it's really what you truly want. The other thing it does, and I love this one, it silences the ego. Because often people, especially if they are somewhat successful, it's me, me, me. And what losing your ego in gratitude does is it loses the me and kind of turns it into a we. You're always inclusive of other people and how they'll feel in reciprocity with you. You're concerned, we help others, we give value to others, and then I lose that me, because now I've just made us a we by sharing my story or sharing information or sharing training, whatever it is that we give out in terms of value. We actually gain. We gain the we, and that helps you get the third thing, which is to appreciate the moments in life. And I'm going to give you my own verbiage for this, because he had a whole paragraph about appreciating the moments of life, and that is very important with your family, friends, to enjoy your business, everything. But I always speak with my clients about training your mind to see the good in everything. And that's not being Pollyanna. That is simply being human, because there's a certain kind of beauty even in things that we didn't necessarily love. And sometimes it's, as you go through the struggle, doesn't feel beautiful, doesn't feel like you want to reframe it, doesn't feel good. But if you're grateful for the process, in return, you get that certain beauty reframed for you, because you've learned a life lesson you can apply, and you can share it with others so that maybe they can apply it a little sooner, because you've already gotten through your struggle. Why not help others by sharing what it is you struggled with? And then that gives you a more meaningful life. And the grateful part there is because you can detach from the life's detours, those curveballs that always come in. You know, you have an intention, you set an intention of working 12 hours today, and then all of a sudden you get side blinded by some other episode in life that just comes your way. These are the balls that get thrown in your court every day. And a juggler just keeps tossing them up, but when you can start to approach it with an attitude of gratitude, you can kind of look at each ball and go, yeah, you know what? Everything's going to be cool. I'm going to be fine. I just have to give attention and energy to the priority ball that's falling down and might hit the ground. That's the one I'm going to pay attention to, and those other ones I'm just going to keep on balancing until I get this all right. I'm grateful for every single one of them. And now I'm going to tell you about when I was researching Zig Ziglar for this segment. There was a part that Zig Ziglar, and I got a little side blinded by this story because it was all positive and it was all about an attitude of gratitude. And then it got to this part where they spoke about his child and how one of his children got sick. And I was waiting for the next sentence where she gets better, but she doesn't. She passes away. And so all of a sudden I'm in this story where he's at her funeral, and after, you know, the burial, he was talking to people and he seemed happy, or at least content. And somebody said to him, how do you stay in an attitude of gratitude when you just lost your child? And he said, because she knew she was loved. And there's nothing else I could have said to her to make this better. I'm just grateful for the time we had with her. And I thought, wow. So, yeah, that's showing gratitude in the face of, that's creating beauty out of those moments. That's seeing the good in everything. And that really is part of gratitude. And I'm about to tear up, so I'm going to turn it back over to Nettie before I do. Because that story just got me as much, and it got me, it was only about a half an hour ago because I had things to say, but I thought, let me just check Zig Zig. And then you came on with that story about Sam's son, and that got me too. Had to put my camera off for a second, so I'm all caught up. So I'm going to go put my camera back off and let you take it and hand it to Erica and Nettie. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your words too. I radiate with the weirdest things sometimes. What got me in your story, Zen, was your daughter and going down to the pharmacy in the middle of the night with a big old smile on your face. I can just see you doing that because you radiate that happiness to the world, and more of us should be doing that, because I need to follow you around for, like, I don't know, 106 years or something, so I can learn it as well as you do it. But yeah, I certainly didn't I didn't know what the repercussions of telling it was going to be. We're just happy to tell the story, very grateful to tell the story. But I did get a chance to look at some of the remarks and that are being said, and it seems that we've opened a real, for lack of a better terminology, can of worms. And you know what? That's okay. That's what these hangouts are all about. And we're glad that you can relate to us, and we hope in some gracious way that we're helping you. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Erica because she always has a bombshell of a story to tell too. So you go for it, my little Kiwi.
Hey, darlings. Welcome, everyone. It's just, always such a privilege to be here and to, share this, beautiful hour with you all. I don't have any bombshell story. I've been thinking about this story all day, this attitude of gratitude. And, if you know my story, my husband and I used to work on cruise ships. We had a very fancy life. But there was never enough. It didn't matter what we were doing. It didn't matter what we were buying. It didn't matter what we were seeing. It didn't matter what we were consuming. It was never enough. There was never enough. We always wanted more and more and more. And no matter how much we consumed of life, we were still so empty. And I never understood it because I had not even heard an attitude of gratitude. This was something I did not learn until I came into this industry. And I was grateful for nothing. I was just going through life, bitching and moaning, and there never being enough to fill me up and make me feel a certain way. And, when our careers crumbled around our ears, we went back home to New Zealand, started building a business there. And, a lot of really, really bad stuff started happening. We started losing stuff, a lot of stuff. And I have to tell you, it's in the losing of stuff and losing your attachment to stuff that all of a sudden you start seeing very clearly what's important. And it was when we started losing everything that I was introduced to this concept of an attitude of gratitude. Okay, so you don't have much now. What do you have? What can you be grateful for? And as I started looking around, I started becoming very aware that there are so many things that you can be grateful for that have no monetary value whatsoever. You can be grateful for a beautiful sunny day. You can be grateful for the way the sun glistens on the trees just after there's been like an early morning sun shower. You can be grateful for the smile that a child gives you on the street when he passes you by. When your attitude moves from having your joy from stuff, and then it comes from, thank you, Shirley, and it comes from falling in love with the things that are just God's bounty, your entire worldview changes. And I never knew that. I never got that. And the story I want to share really quickly is how an attitude of gratitude has affected my husband. This story just makes me laugh so much. He always wanted an Audi. He wanted an Audi so bad. And whilst we're working on ships, we bought an Audi. And he thought, this car is going to make me so happy. Man, I'm so happy. And every time we'd go home on vacation, he would, grab the Audi and would go for a ride. And he'd be sitting there so tense. And he goes, do you hear that squeak? Do you hear that squeak? Where's that squeak? And we would pull over the side of the road and look for a squeak. And I'm like, we would be going like on a big 3-hour journey somewhere, but we always had to focus on the squeak. And I'm like, darling, have you focused like on the beautiful maneuverability of the car? He goes, Erica, I can't. I just have to find the squeak. It shouldn't be squeaking. And for all the years we owned this bloody car, all he could focus on was the squeak. He could never enjoy the car. And anyway, we got rid of the car. And the parallel is this. If you guys, know nothing about our story, we moved over here to be close to his family here in Bucharest, Romania. And there's a huge stray dog problem here, huge. And I had started, my little journeys to the park to, lose weight, walking, yada yada, get healthy. And this little stray dog started following me around the park. And if you know the story, basically I went to the park every day for 3 months to feed this dog. And Alex has been brought up with stray dogs here. So, to most people here, stray dogs are a problem. They are not to be, cuddled and fed and stuff like that. They're a problem, you just want to get rid of them. But slowly, he started this beautiful bond with this stray dog. When we first, started feeding her, he would get one finger and touch on the top of her head like, hello, hello. like just one finger. That was as much as he could do, right? Hello. And as the days went by, something shifted in him. One day something really bad happened to this little dog. Not really bad, but she was violated in one way. And he picked this dog up and he walked her to the edge of the park. We had to make sure that she wanted to leave. And he literally took this little dog home. And he put her into our bedroom. And he bought a bed for her earlier that day. And that little dog jumped in her little bed, looked up at him with this big tongue hanging out, just so much joy in her big brown eyes. And he started crying. He gets more joy out of this little stray dog than he ever did out of his big fancy Audi that was supposed to make him feel so good. And if you've seen some of our photos on Facebook, I mean, these two are inseparable. And sometimes he'll sit there when he's, preparing dinner, and he'll watch her eat her food. And he sits there with this attitude of gratitude. He is literally beaming with joy. And he'll say to me, Erica, trust me, I feel so good when I see her eating her food whenever she wants to eat. I feel so good. How is it that he can feel so good about watching a stray dog eat food? And yet he never felt good about that really expensive, flashy car. Not one day did he enjoy that car. But this little stray dog, this little piece of garbage that no one else cared about, fills him up with so much joy and so much gratitude. And we have this thing called family time. We watch TV. Yes, we watch TV. We watch TV whilst we're eating dinner because we like to unwind. We work a lot during the day on our business and everything, watch a little bit of TV to unwind, but there's a certain time, it's about 9:30, and he just looks at me and goes, come on, let's go and see our daughter. And for about half an hour, we go to the bedroom, and we lie on the bed, and she just looks up at us with these big brown eyes, and I look at my husband, and his face is like he's been washed by an angel. The only other time I've seen him look that in love was basically the day he asked me to marry him. And I'm like, oh my God. And he is the true essence of what it means to live in a state of gratitude. And it's all about that dog, that little stray dog that fills him up so much. So I guess what I just want to end on is the fact that, I'm so sorry I missed Shirley's bit. I lost internet connection, so I'm going to have to do the replays. I'm not too sure what she covered. But this whole thing about living in a state of abundance, being grateful for what you do have, literally attracts more abundance to you. When you are, for me, when I say my prayers at night, I thank God for my beautiful husband, for my gorgeous dog, for a roof over my head, for running water, because there's a lot of people who don't have running water. And I thank God for food in my belly. Those are my basics. If I have that, I feel so rich. I don't need anything else. I've had a lot of stuff, and I've lost a lot of stuff. And I've got to tell you, how we are now with what we have, I feel richer than I've ever felt in my entire life. Because I'm free. I'm free of the stuff that I thought was important that wasn't. I was trying to find my identity in stuff. You notice I don't wear a watch. I hardly wear any jewelry. I just don't give a shit. I just don't care. As long as I have clothes on my back, a hat on my head, I'm cool. I'm cool. when you start practicing gratitude for what you do have, however little it is, you'll be amazed how good that makes you feel, how that raises your energy levels, and then lets the universe go, okay, she's ready for more, he's ready for more, bring it on. When you exude abundance, abundance will be bestowed upon you. And I think that's all I had to say. I'm pretty sure that's all I had to say. Yeah, that's me. Oh, one more thing. I was having a little pity party the other day because you'll notice I've got this little bandage on me. I was naughty as a kid. If you grew up in New Zealand, Australia, you don't practice sun care too much when you're a kid. When I was a kid, this day and age, it's very, very different. So I played out in the sun, did a lot of stupid stuff, and for the past 20 years, I've been having skin stuff cut out of me. And I was very clear to the doctor. I said to the doctor, only 2 stitches, right? Just 2 stitches. Somehow they got lost in translation. I have 7, and when I pulled the bandage off and I saw that I have 7 stitches, I'm like, we agreed on 2. And hubby goes, be thankful you're alive. I'm like, oh yeah, it's just skin. It's just skin. Like, so what? So I have another scar. So what? I'm here. So yeah, that's all I wanted to finish off. Attitude of gratitude, man, it will just fill you up. It will just fill you up with so much joy. And one last thing I'll leave you on, just regarding Lucy. She slows time down for us. I think Zen was talking about being in the present moment. We can't believe we only have another 10 years with her. And it's kind of like every day is so precious, so precious. We don't take for granted one single day we have with this beautiful little animal. Time is precious, and just live in the now, live in the present tense, and be so grateful for what you do have. And I am done now. This time I am out. See you next week, guys.
Well, I don't ever like to call anybody wrong on the panel, but I'm going to call you out by telling you, yeah, you did deliver a bombshell.
Oh, darling. I didn't think it was nearly as big as a bombshell as you ladies sharing about your kids. I mean, I don't have kids, so my heart goes out to you. I am a kid of a mother who doesn't want to talk to me right now, but we'll work on that.
Yes, we all have stories to tell, and I think that's why I love this tribe so much, is because I don't know, for me, it doesn't bother me to get on here and tell something personable about my life. I've told a lot of things in video. I've told a lot of things on these hangouts. I've told a lot of things in writing, and that's what it's all about for me. That's what my mission became a little bit over a year ago. I saw the light. I was awakened, and I know that this is the plan that the Lord has for me, is to get out there and help people get through whether it's a little struggle to a big struggle. And all of us, Erica, Zen, Sherry, and Shirley, we are all doing the same thing. There's not a one of us that's out there promoting anything different than what I've just described to you. We all want the best for everybody. And our goal with this whole tribe is to get you all there. That's what it's all about. Tilt is all about total inspired living tribe. So, if you're thinking about joining us, don't wait. Don't put it off, because there might be something that's been holding you back that we can help you get across, get over with, or help you do something that will make life a lot easier for you, or your road an awful lot easier. Every day we're given in our life, it provides us with like thousands of opportunities to be grateful every day. All that we ask is that you don't miss them. Don't miss them. There are so many people who would give anything to be grateful for the things that sometimes we're not grateful for. But I will tell you this, like through all my time with Empower Network and Total Inspired Living Tribe, my gratefulness, it's just exploding. And I love waking up every day with a smile on my face, and I think the rest of us on here are feeling the same way. And trust me, we have all gone through our individual struggles at individual times, and behind the scenes, we're unified. and we get that person through whatever it is that we have to take them to, whatever journey they need to be. I can't help you if you're trying to figure out what kind of pork chops to buy, but I can sure help you if you're trying to possibly find the words to make yourself, your whole life better and achieve the vision that you see for yourself. Every single one of these ladies on this panel can help you. So I'm going to urge you to get back to the person that invited you to come here tonight and get in touch with them and join up. Get in. It's the cost of a pizza. That's all it is. And your life will forever be changed. There's also a Get Started Join button right below. I'm going to encourage you to click it tonight to get started. Don't put off something that can change your whole world, and that a year from now you'll be sitting on this panel with us and saying, I can't believe how thankful I am that I heard that hangout. Just do it. Just do it. So with those words, I want to say to the Americans that are watching us tonight, Happy Thanksgiving, which is coming up in a few days. And to the rest of the world out there, I just want to reiterate with you, just say thank you. Just say thank you for the simple things all the time. And like all these four said, the abundance will start to come. It will, I promise you. So everybody have a good evening. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you again next Monday night. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.